Michael Pack told the Senate Foreign Relations Committee Thursday he would ensure journalistic independence at the U.S. Agency for Global Media, which oversees VOA, if confirmed to become the organization's first CEO nominated by the Trump administration.
The whole agency rests on the belief that the reporters are independent, that no political influence is telling them how to report the news and what to say. Without that trust, I think the agency is completely undermined.
Pack is a documentary producer who headed the conservative California-based Claremont Institute and has spoken out against the perceived liberal bias in the film industry. With a $628 million yearly budget, the USAGM oversees all government-funded international news organizations that together broadcast to 100 countries and reach an estimated audience of 345 million people. They include the Voice of America, which broadcasts in over 40 languages around the world, TV and Radio Marti broadcast to Cuba, Arabic language networks Al Hurra TV and Sawa Radio, as well as Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, and Radio Free Asia. The VOA Charter, signed into law in 1976, and the International Broadcasting Act mandate all government broadcasters adhere to strict journalistic standards that free press advocates say are essential to be a credible source of news to international audiences.
You're not a state-run media that only tells one side of the story, as often state-run media does in other countries.
Republican and Democratic lawmakers backed the agency's journalistic mission, says a former VOA director.
The members of Congress have always supported the broadcasting by VOA and the other broadcasters because they recognize the value of having one source of news that audiences around the world can rely on.
Some of President Trump's critics have raised concerns that he would seek to turn these news agencies into one-sided propaganda machines for his administration's policies. The panel's top Democrat, Senator Bob Menendez, called into question Pack's ties to Steve Bannon, the former White House chief strategist for President Trump and former head of Breitbart News, a domestic outlet widely seen as advocating nationalist conservative causes. The two worked together on documentaries examining the Iraq War and nuclear power. Menendez asked how Pack would protect agency journalists from political pressure.
Are you capable of saying no?
I think so. I have said no before.
Even if journalistic concerns are resolved, Pack's nomination could still be delayed by detailed background checks and by the Senate's long backlog of nominees awaiting a confirmation vote. Brian Padden, VOA News, Washington.
I think the whole agency rests on